Right.
So we first had Mr. Austyns, who did one of, I think it was Luther Vandross's last #1 hit before he got ill and
Yeah.
unfortunately left us on this earth way too gone too soon.
Yeah.
And that's Dance with My Father. And I love the Be Real because it showed his dad, who Austyns was singing to. I was like, okay, you are a spitting image. Like your father spit you out, sir. Like that was eerie.
Truly.
How
It
much?
was
I was
eerie.
like,
No, it really
that,
was eerie.
that
Yes.
Austyns in the 1970s or 80s. Like I didn't get it because I was like, dude, you look just like your dad. I said,
Yes.
I love this song. You know, this song took a really long time to grow on me because it was like much later Luther. And, you know,
Yes.
if you follow Luther Vandross, you know, Luther hit his stride in the late 70s, 80s, and early 90s. And this was like the 2000s Luther. And a lot of people don't know this, but this was written by Richard Marx, who
Oh.
wrote had that huge song in the 80s, Right Here Waiting, wherever you go, whatever you do. And if you hear the Dance with My Father song, you hear that song, like the influence of that song in it, right?
Now that you say that, I do. I didn't know that.
So yeah, Richard Marx wrote this song, and I said, you know, first of all, Austin's falsetto, and this is just from the Be Real, his falsetto's crazy. Crazy. We got a lot of people this season. Their voices are just crazy. I said, Snoop is everything. This man is everything. Everything. I would say, you know, and y'all can argue with me if you want, greatest coach ever on this show I've ever witnessed. The sincerity, the advice, and the thing is the thing that I get chills thinking about Snoop because Stephanie and I, you know, we grew up with not being allowed to listen to Snoop, right? Snoop was a gangster rapper. You know, when Stephanie and I were young, we had to sneak. He was one of the people we had to sneak to listen to.
Sneak Snoop.
Right?
Yes.
The thing is, Snoop will. I think the thing that people love about Snoop, and I'm sorry I'm taking my time with him, but y'all need to hear this. The thing that people love about Snoop is he is unapologetically Snoop, but he's also like a dad. He's also a man with feelings. He's also a genius.
Yes, he is.
Genius musically. I said, Stephanie and I had a brief conversation earlier about this song choice, and this is kind of going to be a common theme for tonight, you all, that some of these song choices we wouldn't necessarily have picked. Not saying that they're bad songs, but when you're in a knockout round, you need something that's going to grab. With segue into this a little bit later, with which I think someone like Christina did impeccably, right? I think she picked the perfect song. That's what I want in my knockout rounds, right? So, and we'll get to Christina in just a minute. I said, but Austin slays, y'all. He slays. I was really listening to him sing this song, and it was a perfectly sung, executed in every way song. I said the delicateness that he came in with that song, every choice, Stephanie, every phrase he ended, it was perfection. Even though I didn't think that this was the greatest song choice for a competition.
Right.
I appreciate that the entire first verse was sung straight. Then he Austin's it a little bit later. I said it sounded at points that he was like visiting The Voice. Like he's an established artist. He was just there to do a guest spot. He's that good. I said the only thing I would have done, and this is another common theme tonight that a lot of people, that it bothered me tonight. Open your eyes, bruh. Open your eyes. I understand that you are singing with feeling and passion and emotion, and it's very difficult, and you're just doing everything you can to get through it. But Sting made that comment that Stephanie often makes. And I'm sorry, y'all, the mega mentor for the knockouts, you all, is Sting and Jennifer Hudson. And Sting was for this group, and Sting made the comment that Stephanie always makes, in that be careful when a song gets too emotional because
Mhm.
it can lock you up. And Sting
Mhm.
said that. I'm glad he made that comment. I said Austin's connection with the audience, I loved it, and it was absolutely stunning. So
Mhm.
Stephanie, I think we should volley back and forth just to change it up. So you do Austin's, and then we'll go to the next artist. How does that sound?
Okay. I yes and amen to everything that you said about Austin's performance. Um, he has just this smooth, easy, mature
Yeah.
sounding R&B voice. The falsetto is
Luther. It's
beautiful.
it's a Luther type voice,
It
Just
really is a Luther type voice. No, it really is. It's yeah.
sound like
Um,
Luther, but Luther type, like you said.
Luther type, like yes, in
Mature.
tone and in quality, absolutely. I love the way that he could keep his emotions in check, but still give us vulnerability. That's really hard to do, especially when you are really emotionally attached and connected to a song like he was with this. Just like you said, he was. I put pro. Like he seemed like he was a guest artist on the show. I love the way that he used vocal dynamics, like the
Yeah.
loud and the quiet, to tell the story of the song, along with his vocal choices. Um, I would love to hear him sing some gospel on this show because I think that he would murder, and I think that I would be slain on the ground. One last thing I want to say is that touching on the point that you made about what happened at the rehearsal, it was so beautiful
Mm.
to watch Black men be vulnerable
Talk
and show
about it.
their emotions.
Talk about it, Stephanie.
It was so beautiful to watch Snoop be unashamed to comfort this man as he was grieving the loss of his father and to show masculinity in showing his vulnerability. It was so
In
beautiful.
humanity, right?
And
You
humanity,
know
it
what?
is
That
something,
whole
it's
that whole
something,
patriarchy BS, that whole machismo, I don't have time for it. I really don't.
it's something that we do not get to see in males as a whole, but in particular, Black men.
Black
So
man.
I really loved seeing that, and I appreciate them both. And I appreciate the voice for taking the time to show that footage. I thought it was beautiful. Mhm.
Tonight, now that I think back to the show, tonight made a quite a few political statements. If you can, little politics was sprinkled throughout.
I don't know if I
Well,
would call it politics.
not politics, but
I would call it illuminating the humanity of people that are often seen in one way, but they highlighted a different way to see people that is not the stereotypical way of seeing some
I,
of
so eloquently
some folk.
put. So eloquently
Well,
put,
I'm
Stephanie.
trying. Listen, I'm
No,
trying.
I just was like, look, they were like, look, we're talking about colorism. We're talking about
Yes.
getting shot at Black
Yes.
Lives
Getting
Matter
shot.
protests. We
Yes,
talking about
yes,
that
yes.
how you raise a young black man, like
Yeah, yeah.
black male humanity. Like we're talking about it all tonight. So if you don't like it,
Yeah,
you
they
can get off
were. They were
the
laying it bare.
podcast. All right.
Okay.